This is a huge moment. I've never agreed with almost anything these former SEC people say. Listen to what he's saying, folks. I'm telling you, it's big. SEC may drop crypto lawsuits, says former agency lawyer John Reed Stark. If that happens, kaboom. Long time coming. I told you we would defeat the SEC thoroughly. Let me be excited. Let me cook for a minute. It's been a long time. This is what it says. Then, and if that happens, what's holding us back from world domination? What's holding us back from taking over a thousand banks just to start? Bank after bank after bank. What's stopping us? Nothing. Nothing is stopping us. A little belief and willpower go a long way, doesn't it? That's what it says. Former SEC attorney John Reed Stark predicts that the agency will pause or settle all of them, all crypto-related cases, including Ripple's. Let's go, team. So close to victory. Absolute victory. Or how people used to say in the old school, ultimate victory. B2B, we'll take it. Banks, we'll take them. RWA, we'll dominate. Payroll, we'll dominate. Offline QR code payments, we'll dominate. Who's going to stop us? Who's better than us? And we've been in since early, real early. When others didn't believe, we were in. We have the best of the best technologies. The bank coin companies have been doing their jobs. They've been setting up the whole time, knowing this moment will come. Working hard, establishing partnerships the entire time. That's when those partnerships are going to come into play. And they start announcing different partnerships. And you're a researcher now, so you hear about it first before everyone else does. You get to act first. Nothing in here is financial advice. And you act first. That's exactly how you feast. That's how you win. When you're able to act before everyone else does, because you are privy to knowledge that they're not. Let's continue on with this. Oh, all right. Judges have delayed key SEC lawsuits, including those involving Coinbase and Binance. There was another statement. I wonder if they have it in here. Did you see the other articles that were released today? Where you'll see it if you peruse the news just a little bit. Where I don't know if it was this individual, someone from the SEC was saying, or formerly from the SEC was saying, how their enforcement has completely collapsed. This idea with that fits perfectly together. The pot is getting stirred, and it's almost time to eat. This is not a game. This is serious business. You see how far we've come? We've been right the entire time. Let's keep going. And so many different protocol will be affected. Ones that they could have made a push, but they didn't because they were afraid of the SEC. Those are ones to really look out for. They sort of paused almost everything major that they were doing because they were afraid the SEC was going to take action against them. What do you think is going to happen now? They're going to go insane in a good way. When I say they're going to go insane, that means they're going to do a lot. All right. Let me speak universally. They're going to do a lot very quickly and try to make up for lost time. And that's going to result in coins that people didn't expect to pop off, to explode. And once again, that's where your research is really going to come in handy. If you know which ones were like that. They were running at one time. I mean, they were off to the races at one time. And it will happen again because now those barricades will be pulled away. The sharks will be pulled out of the water. The SE sharks are removed from the water. And so the other fish will be able to swim. So it continues here. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission may soon pull back from its legal battles with crypto firms, according to John Reed Stark, a former SEC attorney. Of course, he's privy to a lot of inside information. It doesn't mean that because he says it is going to go that way, but it does tell me that a lot of the conversations that he's been in, a lot of things that he's hearing with former colleagues and friends is leaning him to believe this. And this goes right along with everything we've been seeing. Stark, who previously led the SEC's Office of Internet Enforcement, believes all ongoing investigations, both formal and informal, are likely to stall, including the agency's long-running case against Ripple. The former attorney stated in a February 18th post on X that he expects the SEC to instruct its trial unit to either pause all crypto-related cases or settle them on terms favorable to the companies involved. And now with this new agenda of, United States wants to bring back jobs and, let the technology industries thrive, because that creates a lot of jobs and a lot of revenue, and they claim they want to make people more money, things like that. This makes perfect sense in alignment with that type of energy, if that's real. It continues. Recent court decisions align with this possibility. In January, a judge ruled that the SEC's lawsuit against Coinbase must be paused until an appeals court weighs in. Meanwhile, in February, a judge approved a request from the SEC and Binance to delay proceedings for 60 days. Everything is changing. Golden age becomes a little bit more clear, isn't it? Right? Man. It says he also expects the legal battle over Ripple to be delayed or withdrawn entirely. And you see, Garlinghouse has definitely been putting in his work. This guy's, I don't know if these are pictures were all taken at once. I've been seeing pictures of him with all of these different people all over the place, right? So what that means, he's making connections. It continues. It says another sign of shifting priorities at the SEC is the reassignment of Jorge Tenrero, a lawyer in major crypto cases, to the agency's information technology division. Along with this, the SEC has reassigned more than 50 lawyers and staff members. Whew. Things are changing very rapidly. Then you have articles like this here, Bitcoin bull run just getting started as institutions load up. Wasn't I just saying this? You see, if you follow all the different articles that and information that companies like Sentiment, those companies that track who's buying what, proxy buys, all that kind of stuff, you can see a trend here. Every single time there's a dip, it's not just the people. A lot of people sell. But when there's a dip, the companies have been buying the dips, sometimes majorly. And another thing to really pay attention to, in my humble opinion, is when they're buying things quietly. That's suspicious, number one. And it tells me that they don't want people to be too bullish, but they're bullish themselves. Something special must be happening. Like, for example, when they exposed, or not really exposed, they reported on these massive buys of Chainlink. Why? Why out of nowhere? Chainlink's been bullish for a long time. They've had major partnerships for a long time. There must be something behind the scenes that these people know. Right? Same thing with Bitcoin right here. Right? They're buying up Bitcoin behind the scenes, which you see Bitcoin went back up again. Right? Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Every day is different in crypto. But there must be something that they know that we don't. Keeping them I'm telling you, keeping them that bullish that they're buying, they're not even wasting time. Bitcoin goes down a little bit. They're buying. Why? There must be something behind the scenes. Maybe they've got some there's a lot of insider information that goes on in these financial industries. Insider trading, not insider trading, but insider information. They tell their friends, hey, this is about to happen. And then, you know the rest. I think a lot of that goes on. Maybe someone said, hey, this nation is actually going to have a Bitcoin reserve, whatever nation. Hey, this company is going to go heavy into Bitcoin, or they know something. There has to be a catalyst, but we don't have to pinpoint what the catalyst is. I'm just saying there must be one. But the important part I take from this is that there is a catalyst. It's making them bullish. And they believe something big is coming and that Bitcoin is going to go much higher than where it is now. It's going to go much higher than where it's gone before. They have to believe that because these companies don't get involved with anything that's just making them pennies. They're not here to make pennies. I'm telling you, folks, listen, I couldn't be more honest. These companies like to make a lot of money. So when you take that mentality and you take what you've seen from them over the years, apply it to Bitcoin and crypto, which is about to be unleashed, you can see that there's about to be some kind of insane explosion that most people don't want to believe, right? They don't want to believe it. I'm telling you, they don't want to believe it. Most people don't want to believe, so they're not going to be in on time. They're going to come in later for sure. That's going to be another little pop in price because a lot of people are only going to react once the price starts really, really rising dramatically. This is how it always goes. They never buy when it's low. They start buying when everything's going up, which is a dangerous, dangerous thing to do because that's how a lot of times people get sold on, right? They buy at this high, which in my opinion is greatly ill-advised. And then once it crashes, then they're upset because, oh, well, I bought here and it went down. I hate crypto. No, don't hate crypto. That was not crypto's fault. But that's how it usually goes, So that's another little pop in price. But the companies, circling back around to the beginning, the companies are not doing that, and they're not sitting on the side anymore. They're getting in little by little. And there's a lot more of them. That's another thing that I keep telling you. It's so bullish. Look at the companies. Stay up to date with the percentage of companies that are into crypto. It's going to change over the next few months. It's going to take some time before the numbers change. It's going to change over the next few months, the next few years. But you can't have over 70%. You can't have all of these big companies saying that other big companies want to get in. You have ARK Invest talking about that. I think you have BlackRock talking about that. You had another company. Was it Wisdom Tree? Also, some representative from Wisdom Tree talked about it. I think it was. And they talked about it, how all these other big companies want to get in. But then you look at that number, over 70% of them are not in crypto just yet. There's no way that those two things come together and don't result in a massive price explosion for Bitcoin and crypto. No way. I just don't see how that's going to be possible. But this is what the article says here. The market may have cooled for now, but the bull run is far from over. Last I saw, everything was green. All the top stuff was green. Bitcoin was green. Last I saw, this was like maybe an hour and a half ago. And unless that page was wrong. Let's go to let's see. Let's go to Coin Market Cap for a moment. And let's just see if what I saw was accurate. I see here already Solana is green. It's at $166.76. Let's check out everything. Let's get up to date on everything. Let's see what's happening. Okay. So Bitcoin is green at $96,088. Of course, it's fluctuating though. It's going from green to red, but it's up much higher than it was yesterday. It bounced back like it always does. I told you. Ethereum is green. It's up 0.17%. XRP was green, but now it's down 0.02% at $2.66. Things looking pretty good. Looking pretty good, in my humble opinion. So let's go back to the article. So you can say things cooled a little bit, but not by much. It always bounces back every day. It always bounces, not every day, but it bounces back. The resilience is there. That's another bullish thing about Bitcoin and crypto right now. Bitcoin's bull run is going to continue. This is what they're saying, thanks to big money institutions. I told you, look at gold. It's the same thing with gold. The banks propped gold up. It's not going anywhere. They're making sure that price stays high. Give Bitcoin and crypto a year or two. Watch how high those prices go, and they're going to find a settling point. I'm telling you, that settling point is going to be much higher than what people have ever seen before. And while now they say it's impossible or they don't want to believe it, it will be a reality later. Same thing happened with gold. I'm telling you, way back Long time ago, people said, oh, gold can't go to this price, can't go to $2,000, can't go to $2,200, right? And what happened? Gold shattered way past. Now we're talking about $3,000 gold. Now the predictions are for gold just going so far past $3,000 is unbelievable. It's a reality. And now, and what happens is once that occurs, the people just forget about those lower prices. They forget about their non-belief. All of a sudden they're believers. All of a sudden they're participants. That's how it happens. But the companies are the ones who make that happen. And that's what's about to happen to Bitcoin and crypto. Those prices are going to go up. My humble opinion, not financial advice. They're going to go up if it continues on this trajectory. It says that's according to a report from global investment firm Bernstein, which said on Monday that investors should be prepared for a further rally in the asset and equities related to it. Bernstein is now telling people this. They sound like me. So if we're all coming to the same conclusion, but we're all looking at different catalysts, that tells me it has to be pretty close to the truth, right? That's how you do. If you, it's like going to a doctor. If you get an analysis done by a doctor, then you go to a second one, they say the same thing. You go to the third one, they say the same thing. My father always told me, always get 3 opinions, Mick. That's what he told me. Get 3 opinions. And then you go with the average of them. You make your decision after that. You know, they're all saying the same thing. It's probably close to the truth, right? Because one could be wrong, but all 3 of them, I don't believe they're going to be wrong. More likely than not, you're going to discover two of them are saying the same thing, and that's probably going to be closer to the truth. All right. So all of these different people are coming from different places when it comes to Bitcoin and crypto and drawing the same conclusion. Golden age is coming. Explosion is coming. Whatever verbiage we put to it, it's going towards the same line of thinking. And that's a huge opportunity. Huge opportunity. So now it says this. It continues. Analysts Gautam Chugani, Mahika Sapra, and Sanskar Chindalia wrote that the bull run was ignited by the prospect and later approval of the Bitcoin ETFs. We got a lot of other ETFs coming. XRP ETF looks like it's up to bat. And then I'm pretty sure maybe later on Solana and a few others coming. It's probably going to happen quickly at a certain point. The whole SEC is changing dramatically. It says, quote, the confluence of adoption by banks. Remember, it's so crazy to me how life works. I said 3 years ago the banks would be a major player. And that if you wanted to succeed, if you go back and watch those old videos, they're still up. I said if companies wanted to succeed, if crypto wants to go to the next level, they would have to become bank coins or work with the banks. Because I knew we would take the money from them. They're going to hand the money over to us. They are. In my humble opinion, that's how I feel. They're going to hand that money over to us. And now you have these companies saying the same thing. And who's involved heavily now? Banks. Who's making the big pushes now? Banks. A little research, I'm telling you, you're going to have a little research and foresight. You're going to see, you'll see all of these things, and you'll see more that's going to come in the future. The confluence of adoption by banks, institutional investors, corporates, and eventually sovereigns is positioning Bitcoin as the clear challenger to gold, unquote. No. It's positioning Bitcoin to do very, very great things, to make people a lot of value for sure, 100%. But gold is a protective asset. It's what people have always used it for. There's nothing that compares to it, in my humble opinion, not at all. I got my brick of gold in my hand. Bitcoin could never do that for me. Bitcoin, it could never do that. It's in my. You have to come get it from me. If I was holding my gold myself, that is. But let's say some people do that. Some people hold their gold themselves, right? But you have that brick in your hand. There's nothing more secure than that. Nothing. So, and I don't think that, once again, you need to compare Bitcoin to gold. They keep doing this. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it makes Bitcoin look good. Maybe they feel like they're going to appeal to a broader audience because a lot of people love gold. They respect gold and they want Bitcoin to get some of that shine off of gold. It's not necessary. And no, they don't. Bitcoin is not going to take anything from gold. But anyway, The price of Bitcoin has hit new highs since the new Bitcoin ETF started trading a year ago. That we know. Okay, so let's move on from there. And let's see. We have one more. Let's see. Let's do one more article here, and then I have to run. I have to do another event tonight. So I have to make this a little bit quicker. Okay, so now all of these article writers were talking about how, is Bitcoin going to go down further? This article sort of answers that question, if people should be concerned or not. I'm not concerned whatsoever with Bitcoin because I know what's going to happen. Like they said, companies are buying it up every single time there's a dip. That's going to keep Bitcoin in a bullish energy. But this article is titled, Bitcoin Bull Market Can Survive $77,000 Bitcoin Price Dip in 2025. This is coming from some analyst here. Oh, crypto quant analyst CEO Ki Young Ju. All right. So it says Bitcoin, which is now green at $96,243, can drop to $77,000 and still preserve its bull market in 2025. How many people are going to actually feel that way, know this information, believe that if it does go there? If it went down to 77,000, you're going to hear people screaming that the sky is on fire. I'm telling you right now. They're going to they're going to try to shake everybody up because it gets views and clicks. I'm telling you right now, even though, once again, like I said, I'm not concerned with it because the positive catalysts don't go away. So that bullishness doesn't go away. Now you have this crypto quant person saying a similar thing here. Let's find out what his catalysts are. In various X posts on February 19th, Ju suggested that a 30% Bitcoin price drop would keep the current uptrend in line with historical norms. Bitcoin remains in a quote-unquote bull cycle despite a month of sideways Bitcoin price action and lack of impetus to reclaim $100,000. According to crypto quants Ju, higher levels are set to persist throughout the coming year despite its slow start. It says, quote, I don't think we'll enter a bear market this year. I said the same thing. Thank you, sir. I said the same thing. I think others have iterated similar also. It says, unquote, he argued while discussing, I think we're going to see a big explosion towards the middle of the year. Maybe another one towards the end of the year. Yeah, I could be wrong. We could all be wrong. But I just don't see a bear market coming this year. With all those positive catalysts for a lot of crypto, I don't think so. He argued while discussing the cost basis of various Bitcoin investor cohorts. It says, quote, we'll end off with this here. Quote, we're still in a bull cycle. The price would eventually go up, but the range seems broad. I personally think that the bull cycle could continue even with a minus 30% dip from all-time high, as seen in past cycles, unquote. Okay, so there's your proof there. There's your reasoning there. A $77,000 local floor would still keep BTC USD above its previous cycles all-time highs and has already formed a popular downside target for traders keen to see the market form a solid support basis. All right, so now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the Monday.